Is Ghost of Yotei a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima? Ghost of Yotei is clearly building upon its predecessor as any sequel should, incorporating new ideas and technological progress to ensure that the story of the Ghost continues to be as impactful as possible. One of the most important clues to how closely Ghost of Yotei is tied to Ghost of Tsushima is in its setting. As revealed in its announcement trailer, Ghost of Yotei is set in 1603, a massive 329 years after Ghost of Tsushima. As such, it comes as no surprise that the game follows an entirely new protagonist, a Ronin named Atsu. Moreover, there is currently no indication that Atsu shares any direct connection with Jin Sakai, although there is one thing that they do have in common: the mantle of the ghost. The answer to this is both a yes and a no. It sounds confusing, right? Let me explain. Ghost of Yotei isn't a direct sequel to the Ghost of Tsushima. Instead, it is a thematic continuation of the prequel and set in a different timeline and region as well. Therefore, you can consider Ghost of Yotei to be a primary spin-off set in the same GOT universe. Senior Communications Manager Andrew Goldfarb, developers Sucker Punch have decided to build their new title around the idea of the ghost, rather than continue Jin's own story after the ending of Ghost of Tsushima. As a result, Atsu will be wearing a ghost mask of her own as she sets out on her own journey. Of course, it is entirely possible that stories of Jin will provide the inspiration for this in-game, but it seems unlikely that his influence on the narrative of Ghost of Yotei will extend beyond that. The story of Ghost of Yotei is confirmed to be in 1603, set 3 centuries later following the events of the first game. As Atsu, you will be on your underdog vengeance journey around the lands of Ezo, Hokkaido in modern Japan, encompassing Mount Yotei. The devs have further given clues about this new setting as this area was outside the rule of Japan and filled with sprawling grasslands, snowy tundras, and unexpected dangers. It's a far cry from the organized samurai clans who lived in Tsushima, and it's the setting for an original story we can't wait to tell. Combined with a different era and new setting, the vicinity of Mount Yotei, all this makes it very clear that Ghost of Yotei is more of a spiritual sequel to Ghost of Tsushima than anything else. As indicated by the title, the concept of the ghost is the major thematic link between the two games, rather than any of the characters from Ghost of Tsushima reappearing themselves.